Hello, Comrade. Welcome back to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. My name, of course, is Old Potato. Today's episode, well, let's start by talking about what we did last episode, I guess. Last episode, we managed to get a power plant up and running. It was supposedly going to give us a lot more money than it actually has been giving us. However, the reason that it hasn't been giving us money is primarily because we just haven't had enough coal to stick into this power plant. Yeah, it's not a very glamorous story, but it is in fact the truth. So what I was doing, perched all the way over here, was having a look at the area where we are hopefully going to expand into in today's episode. This is future Coalgrad, primarily because of the sheer abundance of coal. If I can get the coal mine up and running, you can have a little look at the size of the vein under here. It's pretty substantial, to be honest. I think that we'll probably get, well, maybe just one coal mine down here, but we'll stick it right in the center so that it can get access to, I mean, a fantastic amount of coal. However, this is going to involve, I mean, a variety of steps that are going to hopefully result in success, but the steps are as follows. First things first. The transportation of the coal needs to be done by train. We can't do it via road, which means we can rule out using the existing road network that we've got over here. Secondly, we've got two options with regards to staffing the coal mine. Coal mines take a heck of a lot of people to staff. We can either build up a community out here, as in, you know, we can have houses around this area, or we can transport them via the railway, perhaps, or maybe even bust them in using the existing road network. That's that. Then the other problem is that we need to get the coal from here to, well, like here. And that is going to be not the crux, not the most important problem, but it sort of is the heart of where our problem lies. Yeah. So we've basically got to get the coal to this large aggregate storage. I don't actually think that it's going to be impossible to do. If we have a little look at the conveyors that are still available in this aggregate storage, might not be the easiest thing in the world to do, but I'm hopeful that we can try and do it with engine transfers. Hopeful anyway. No, maybe not. Maybe the idea of having an engine transfer or two is so wacky that it might not even work. I mean, I was thinking maybe we could try and get one in here so that we can try and connect it up, because ideally what we would do is we would just plonk it right there. What we might have to do actually is move the coal processing plant over a little bit. In fact, I think that that's probably what we will do. I'm not super thrilled about having to demolish a really expensive coal processing plant, but it will actually help us. In fact, no, sorry, tell a lie. What am I thinking about? We're going to transport the raw coal. Yeah, we'll transport the raw coal, and then it'll get processed in here. So we don't actually need to supply to this large aggregate storage. What am I talking about? That's crazy. And we can just supply the input over here. Okay, that is remarkably easy. I say it's remarkably easy. It's still remarkably challenging, because we're still going to need to try and get the coal out over here. Now, I had an idea, and my idea was, let's use this train line and see if we can maybe find a way to take the train line up this hill. It's going to be a heck of a challenge, to be honest. It's going to be very mightily difficult to do. Yeah, because of the steepness of the hill. Not quite sure how we're going to tackle this. We're going to need to get a train aggregate unloading over here somewhere. But the problem is that this piece of machinery right here is so darned large that I don't even know how we're going to fit it in. And the problem is that, I mean, we can fit it in up here, but the real question is, how on earth do we get the track down this mountain? He says as he just accomplishes exactly what he wanted to do. Huh. Alright, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. Maybe it's not going to be that difficult. Okay, so anyway, that's probably what we're going to try and do at this end. We're going to try and put a coal aggregate train unloading thing here. Maybe a little coal storage here, and then feed that directly into the coal processing plant so that it can be turned into coal. So we'll turn coal ore into coal. That's why we don't need to move this building. I knew I'd planned it out, except I just made a fool of myself by explaining it completely wrong. Anyway, so this is going to be a milestone for a number of reasons. First things first, it's going to be the first time when we run cargo trains along this stretch of track. I mean, if we end up using this train network, then chances are we'll end up using this bridge as well. We might use the Universograd connection over there. So we're basically going to be running cargo trains along a stretch of track which was previously only used for the transportation of people and workers. So I think that might present itself as a couple of challenges, primarily around this area, because if we have long cargo trains sort of tailing back, then I think that we might have some issues. What I'm thinking that we might legitimately have to do, we might legitimately have to introduce a bypass. I think that we might actually do that. So we might try and find a bypass around here, and maybe might try and find a bypass around there, or what is more likely perhaps is that we end up with a bypass that comes down this way and connects up there. In fact, that's I think what we'll end up doing, because this area is getting very, very congested, and what might be an idea is if we split the track off over here and then we just have 2 lines of bypass that connect up there, something like that. Anyway, that's kind of for the latter half of the episode. At the moment, what I really want to try and do is establish like a little bit of a rough idea of what we need to be building here. I don't actually want to build anything quite yet. We're not at that stage, but I do want to do that kind of soon. Okay, so first things first, the heart of this community over here is going to be the coal mine. Let's get that planted straight away so that we've got a little bit of an idea of what we want. Now, in close proximity to that, we're going to want a train station. Presumably, if we want to bus people in via train, or transport people in via train. Do we want to do that, or do we want to maybe create like a brand new community over here? To be honest, maybe creating a brand new community is just easier. Sure, we'll have to, well, if we do that, then we'll have to buy in all of our food and all of our meat, because I don't really want to set up meat transport routes to this area. You know what, why don't we put in a station for now, and then if we really want to change it in the future, we can. Let's do that. What am I doing? Yeah, here we go. So, train platform small. Yep, that's probably just about what we need. So I'll put that in right about there. Okay, I'll put it in there. Apparently the excavators are too far away. That's fine. So footpath can go to the road out there. We'll deal with that in a little bit. As long as it's in close proximity for now, it's fine. Okay, so we then want to go to a large aggregate storage. We want to transfer the coal resources to a large aggregate storage over here. Right, turns out auto build from rubles might actually legitimately be required. Right. It's going to be worth it. And then untake that and plonk that down so that we only get a blueprint, we don't get anything else. That connects up perfectly. We'll connect that up in a little bit. Okay, so that's that. Then we're going to get a train aggregate loading. And I think that can honestly, quite comfortably, go over here. The reason that I want it to go over here is because we're going to want to make sure that when the train is loading up, it doesn't interfere with the passenger rail network, which is going to go sort of, we're going to want to fork off the cargo trains from the passenger trains just to make sure that we don't have any issues. And I think from the get-go, we want to maybe try and build 2 tracks. Now, I'm conscious of the fact that I don't exactly have a super large amount of money. However, that's not going to stop me from being bold and ambitious. Okay, this is... As sort of terrain goes, this is pretty hilly stuff, to be honest. And already our aggregate loading, our train aggregate loading is already fairly elevated. Yeah. Alright, you know what? Let's... Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. Let's try and connect up this train route to wherever it is that we need to go. Which is right over here. Oh boy, this is going to be a really expensive build. This is going to be a really expensive build. Why don't we start at the other end to make me feel a little bit better about things? Do we want to branch off from the Universigrad route? Or do we want to just tie it right into the main route? To be honest, you know, let's just branch off from the Universigrad route. Right, do that. And then do that. Yep, okay, that's perfect. So now we want to try and create one single route. Oh my lordy, this is going to be expensive. And this is going to be very, very long. Yeah, and this is where we're going to have the problems. We're going to have a problem with elevation here. Too big a climb uphill, too big a climb downhill. Yeah. Okay. That actually works. Okay, I'm surprised that we're able to get away with that steep decline, but that's a-okay with me. And that connects up there like that. Well, no it doesn't, but that connects up there like that. Okay. So that was actually not too bad. And then obviously the other part is just running the track parallel along this line, which is actually fairly easy to do. The difficulties maybe will arise from this little nonsense that we're going to have to deal with. Yeah. Okay. Doesn't look like that's having much of an impact. Okay, now we're starting to see the issues with rail that I had hoped to avoid because it was completely irritating and totally pointless. But that does actually work. Okay, well that's something at least, and if we run the tracks parallel, then we shouldn't have any issues connecting things up. Okay, that's good. That is a step in the right direction. If we unpause... There's a way to say, if we unpause, we shouldn't actually build anything, but it turns out the track was already programmed to be built. But that's not a problem. That's not a problem. We're just now out of money. Out of all money. Right, great. Fantastic. Which means that disaster is going to happen. There's no power, there is no power, there is no power. That is a real problem, and that's a problem that I created by myself in the last episode, because rather than transporting to the unloading, yeah, so we need to ditch this. We need to ditch these routes because we don't actually need to unload over here anymore. What we need to do is unload over here, which is where we need the coal. So let's try and ditch this. No, this is confusing. This is confusing. This is really confusing. Unloading 3. No, we need to go to unloading 1. Unloading. Yeah, so then instead there, go there, load 100% of anything, and then delete that. Yeah, okay. And then this needs to be set at unload 100% of anything, and that's that. Okay, perfect. Let's copy that. Copy that. Put that over there. Perfect. And copy that over there. Any more dumper trucks that we want to take off dumper duty? You as well. Yeah, because at the moment, we are severely constrained by the fact that we're not producing any power. And of course, now that we're not actually producing, or now that we don't have any money, basically, we're kind of gonna be screwed unless we can find a way to fix that situation. Where are you going? Aggregate unloading. Now go there. Yeah. Alright, great. Go there. Right, we still need to transport coal via truck to this unloading area, but that's the only part of the process that is still transported via truck. Right. We've got too many buses on this route. We're causing tailbacks, and it's annoying me. Right, you're going to the work. You're going back to the depot. You're going back to the depot too. Get the 2 old, terrible buses off that route. What the... What? Go here. Why are we not unloading? Does this area have power? Seems that it's got power. Got 4 vehicles at the moment. Unload. Okay, beautiful. We finally got our power on. We're finally on top of our power. Oh, wonderful. Alright, copy the work orders over to this little truck as well. That's perfect. Hold on. I sent 2 buses back to the depot. Did I send buses back to the depot that are actually required? I don't think I did. So you went from small platform 3 to small platform 4. Alright, that's fine. That's totally fine. That's a-okay with me. Small platform 3 and 4 were not super essential. You went from small platform 1 to small platform... Wait, you went from... to 1 to 3. What the heck is going on here? Okay, so that's 3. Oh, and that's 1 over there. Okay, that is actually a required bus. Okay, start that dumper truck. And start that bus again. That's the power bus. Or that's one of the power buses anyway. It transports people to the power plant. So it's pretty required. We need 2 buses to transport to the power area. This is the bus that I wanted to get off the streets. Because it's not actually required. Alright, good. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I didn't... Oh no, I also built this bit of track. I didn't mean to build this bit of track. That was just a abject waste of money. However, we are actually fine for money. Which is kind of nice. Anyway, let's stop mucking around here and hopefully try and fix our situations slightly better than we have managed to at the moment. Okay, coal. Back to coal. Back to coal. We've got this route up and running. Basically. We basically got that area up and running. We need to build a large aggregate storage. Apparently, we've already got a train loading, because apparently I left rubles ticked on for that one. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. Here we go. Do that. And then do that. Yeah, I think that maybe we want to transport people in. Again, I don't love it, but it is what it is, right? Connect that up. Alright, let's get that built via... Oh, that's going to cost an arm and a leg. Fund that via rubles. That's not a problem. And then fund this via rubles. Yep, that's fine. But this is gonna be a real problem. This is gonna be a good old-fashioned problem. Because we ain't got the money to do it. I mean, maybe we could do it in dollars? We can't even do it in dollars. Don't even have the dollary dues to make it happen. Not to mention covering the costs of missing power. Oh, man. Hold on. Let me have a look. Where am I importing power from? Importing power from here. I should theoretically be importing power. And it should all work. Right. Keep that on there for now. Missing power supply. I mean, who provides power to this? It's you. And you literally... Okay. Right, so I see what the problem is that the oil terminal only works if it's connected up, or if this power plant is producing power, which actually straight up just is not a good idea. Where does this power cable go? I dealt with this such a long time ago that I'm not even sure it matters anymore. It connects around here. However, what we don't have is a connection from this terminal to that terminal over there. So let's try and fix that now. Energy related, high voltage switch. Okay, yeah, build that there. What we'll do is we'll get rid of... Let's pause so that I don't end up spending a super large amount of money. Right, is this the best way to do this? That goes there, yep. That goes there. And then disconnect this and bosh that in over there. So that should theoretically mean that the oil terminal should work even when we don't have power. Okay, great. That does actually work. Alright, perfect. So we should have power at all times, which is really, really important. Even when we're producing over here, I don't think it'll make much of a difference. Yeah, we don't have much coal. We don't have much coal, or we don't have enough people. We do have enough coal now, but we now don't... Now we've got enough people. Okay, now I'm pretty sure that the reason that we're only producing a little bit of power is because we're now importing that amount of power. Right, so if we produce 0, then the production percentage will jump up. Okay. Right, I'm going to keep an eye on that. I'm going to keep an eye on that. That's really, really important. So as long as we have coal coming in, then we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Speaking of, we made a whole bunch of amendments to this train network in the last episode. It looks like it's working pretty much fine at the moment, which is great. Let's turn our attention back over to what we're actually doing in this episode. Right, getting back to the task at hand. Yeah, we need to finish up in future Coalgrad. That is absolutely what we need to do. I still think that we need to transport people into the area via a train. I think that that's probably the best way to go about doing it. That way we don't really have to worry about supplying the shops and the pubs with meat and food and all of that nonsense. So that's kind of a nicety, really. I'm going to keep an eye on the power for a little bit going forward, just in case there are any issues with the production at the power plant, because I know that coal supply might actually be a little bit of an issue. Might start to dwindle, but hopefully we should be able to supply enough coal. We also need to work on the other end of the future Coalgrad train line, so to speak. And I'm thinking that what we want to try and do... Let's not auto-build from rubles, because we can actually do that over here. We're going to want to, as previously mentioned, we're going to want to get a train aggregate unloading. And we're going to want to try and get that in a reasonably easily accessible area. Ideally, like, with an angle like that, to be honest. I don't really want to muck around with the heights too much. Although that might not actually be super difficult to do. This area is all fairly easy to terraform. Let's do height from center. Okay. Something like that. Will that make it any easier to place down a train aggregate unloading? 'Cause I think that if we were able to take this area down by just a smidgen, then we might actually be fine. Alright, take that area down. Take this area down as well. This is a rock, so it's going to be slightly more problematic to do. Grass is going crazy, which is interesting, but that's fine. Can I shrink the area of effect that we're going to take it down? Let's have a look, see if that works any better. That is very, very close to working. Very, very close indeed. In fact, it's so close that I'm thinking maybe if we average this out, then that might just do it for us. Not quite, I'm afraid. Height from center. Let's get that raised up a little bit. Right, now try that again. Try that again. Okay, that looks pretty good. Right, we need flat terrain, but that shouldn't be too challenging. Oh no. Right, so it looks like this is the literal only orientation that it's going to work in. Alright, fine. Let's get that changed. And just like so, the great thing is that this whole process is completely free. Right, so build that there. We don't actually have to build that right now, because what we need to try and do is find out to see if this railway is possible. To be honest, I actually think that it will be with a little bit of creative ground modification here. Right, something like that. Too big a descent downhill? Still too big a descent downhill. Alright. We need to try and do this pretty carefully, but I think it is possible. It's pretty difficult to get a good appreciation for the downhillness of this section. This is going to be a pretty steep decline, which makes me think that it might not be entirely possible to do it from here. What we can always do is we can always like loop it round this way and then link it up over here. That might be the better way of doing it. However, that does mean longer journey times, and longer journey times generally something that we want to try and avoid. But I mean, this is a very, very steep decline here. I mean, yeah, too big a climb uphill. I actually don't think that we're going to be able to do that. Okay, let's try again. We'll put the train aggregate unloading round about here. That's actually kind of doable. Or maybe over here. Can't build due to infrastructure. Oh, come on, really? Alright, try that. Okay, that works. Let's give this a bash. Once again, it's completely free, which is the best thing. Plonk that down there. And let's see if we can connect up the track over this way. Okay, let's just plan it all out before we actually go through with it. Okay. That seems to work. Okay, try again. Do it step by step this time, as we always tend to. Oh man, it's so close to working. And that doesn't work, no. No, it doesn't work. This is the most infuriating thing in the world. It says it will work, but it just doesn't want to work. Oh, come on, that's just it's like it wants to work. It really does. Okay. Try modifying the terrain just a little bit around it, see if that makes any difference. It's obviously the terrain that's the funky bit, so too big a descent downhill. However, if we reverse it, it works completely fine. Too big a ascent uphill. Alright, this is just a nightmare. I don't even know how else we can do this if it's just not gonna work. Okay. Too big a descent downhill, but that doesn't work. This is a awfully vexing issue. Also, speaking of vexing issues, how are we doing in terms of fuel production over here? Right, we're doing pretty well, actually, in terms of fuel and oil production. Steel production is somewhat muted, because we just are not getting enough coal, presumably. And that's what we're trying to fix here. The whole point of this whole process is to try and get some coal. Alright, get rid of that. Get rid of that, maybe. Right. Nope. No. It would be far too simple. Okay, that works. And that doesn't work. But that does work. Oh, come on, game. The problem is that I don't think it... I think that this is too steep a hill to go down. But it's giving me false signals, you know? Which is a bit of a problem. Okay. Says that this is quite a decline downhill, but I think that this might just be doable. Okay, no. Wiggle it around a little bit, see if that makes any difference. Holding the right mouse button down. Nope. Alright, bring it back a smidge there. Too big a descent downhill. Alright, raise it up a little bit, flatten it out. See if we've got anything. Too big a descent downhill again? Really? I mean, is it too steep a descent? That is quite steep, I suppose. Okay, I think what we might be doing is looking at this from the wrong angle. If it's not going to work over there, let's try literally from here. Sort of the latest that we can... No, not that type of track. The latest that we can sort of drag this track out. Oh, no. Okay, get rid of this signal. Let's try as late as possible to try and drag this track out. We'll try and get it running parallel first. That would be a good start. And maybe try and get it uphill somewhat. And maybe see if we can try and curve it round. I'm thinking that if we do it from this angle, we might have slightly better luck. It wants to work. It wants to work, but we're just being... We're being infuriated. But the problem is that without this track, there is literally no way of making this a success. Oh. He says as it becomes a success. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, this is great. Can we get a crossing over here? Now this is going to be the other problem. We are going to need to make sure that we're going to allow this track to cross. Because if we can't cross it, then that's going to be a real problem for the return leg. Unless we only want to have one track up to this area. To be honest, having one track up to this area is not the end of the world. However, it doesn't fully fix the problem, because we're still going to need a way for the train to get back to wherever it is. We could have... No, we can't even do that. Okay, here's an idea. Try removing that signal there. And then seeing if we can try and get a crossover, maybe. Crossing's not allowed. Crossing's not allowed. I mean, we can definitely get a crossing here, right? Yeah, I think that's the best case scenario for us. It looks kind of ugly, but it is what it is. We'll put in a single signal there, which means that only one train will be allowed up here at once. There is the potential for us to expand this at some point. In fact, maybe we could expand it now. Crossing not allowed over there. You know what? No. 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 Okay, this is... Okay, first of all, I'm working at night, which is my first big mistake. Because even I can't see what I'm going on. Can't see what I'm doing. Let's connect that up and then fast forward so that we actually are in a position to see what we're doing. Let's delete this bit of track. Clean up a little bit. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. This is much better. Where's our steel train? Is our steel train still docked? Right, I'm going to dispatch our steel train to drop off its load so that we can make a bunch of money, which is quite important. This is the aggregate unloading. That's not the only thing that we need to build over here. The other thing that we need to build over here is the aggregate storage. I kind of want it to be a large aggregate storage in order to feed into this part of the coal processing plant. Would that fit ever so nicely in there? Can't build due to infrastructure. I mean, I feel like it's very close to working there. Need flat terrain. I mean, let's do a little bit more terrain modification, shall we? Okay. That's the average. I don't want to do the average. I want to take the height from the center. Okay. See if we can lower this. Problem is that it takes a heck of a long time to destroy rocks. And I do want it to be a large storage. It's not something that I really want to compromise on. Okay, so miraculously, this might be doable. This is actually going to be totally doable. Okay, let's do that. And then let's see if this is connectable. Due to infrastructure pillars below. Alright, hold up a second. Let me see. Cancel this conveyor. Building is in the way. However, is that possible? No, it's not possible. Alright, reconnect that up. Fund construction from rubles. There we go. Get that built, please. Oh, okay, I built 2. That's fine, I guess. Engine transfer is clearly what is required here. We might even need 2 engine transfers. How is it so difficult? How is it always so difficult to try and get the engine transfers placed after not managing? Why is it always so difficult to get them placed? It's just ridiculous. This electric substation, to be honest, is going to need to go. Which is kind of crazy, given that I just got it like last episode, but hey-ho. I'm even thinking maybe this thing will need to go. Maybe this conveyor that we just built will need to go. Right, fast forward, get rid of that bulldozed mess there. And then let's get conveyor, engine transfer, yep. Stick that in right here. After we demolish some wires, we can always put them back in. Right, let's see if this works. That actually remarkably works. Okay, that is straight up fantastic, and it means that we will not have any issues going forward. Great. Let's go and replace the whatchamaduda. Come on. There we go. Beautiful. Medium electric wires. Great. Perfect. Fund that through rubles. Beautiful. Right, now how do I finish these? How do I get these blueprints? Engine transfer. Sure, fund that through rubles. Building is on fire. Which building is on fire? This is actually quite important. There is no fire station around here. So I am actually legitimately going to have to fix that. Because if I don't, there will be a problem. School, kindergarten, where is it? It's around here somewhere. No, it's not. Education related. Various industry? No. Storage and warehouses? No. Residential buildings? Residential buildings, that's the one. How much does this cost to build? 28,000 rubles for a fire station? That's annoyingly expensive. I mean, sure, let's do that. There we go, place that there, and that should get built automatically. Unfortunately, though, I don't think that we're going to be able to get there very quickly. I need to make sure that I purchase a mechanism as well, because that's going to be another expense incurred. And of course, there's no road connection to this area, so it's not like a regular fire engine can get there. Yep. Okay, so, hold up. Let's get... What the heck is that? Oh, that's the area of effect of the fire station? Okay, cool. The latest and greatest piece of firefighting equipment. Let's get this bad boy. Sure, I don't believe it actually needs a power supply. But hey-ho, when's the next train arriving at Universigrad? Could be a while, to be honest. Could be a while. Right. Okay, as long as we've set it so it guarantees that someone will go and be a firefighter. Is that a Universigrad train? That is a Universigrad train. And there are, in fact, a couple of workers. Right, let's see if this gets fixed, because this is actually quite important. Okay, injured citizens awaiting ambulance? Yeah, sorry, you're going to be waiting an ambulance a long time. Also, can this platform even reach the fire station? It actually can. But no one is a firefighter. Citizens dead in the fire? That is a problem. Okay, here's how we're going to try and resolve this problem. My plan. Connect up a mud road. Something that can be done kind of quickly. To there. Will that make a difference? Will that allow the fire truck to access the area? Oh, actually, hold up. We can't actually do that because there's no connection to that main road there. Alright, will that change? Will these guys be alerted to the... They cover the area of the fire, which is quite cool. Oh, look! That will actually work, although I think it might be too late. Fire truck is called and is headed towards this fire. You know what? Sell this vehicle. I'm not interested. I want to get rid of this building. I don't want to... I just built it, but there's literally no point in having it, since I can now see the range of these fire trucks. It's pretty substantial, to be honest. Building is on fire. Is that another building? No way. No way! How? Why is every building catching on fire? That should also be covered by this station. Look, let's get a brand new truck. This is apparently one of the fire hotspots. Sure. I'll get another truck. Alright. So with that, hopefully, we should be able to extinguish both fires. Might take a little while for the fire truck to actually arrive at this designated location. However, it's something that we'll have to deal with in the next episode. We've made about half of Coalgrad, but that's fine. What's more important, really, is that we've got the infrastructure in place to basically go for it. Full steam ahead. Haha, full steam ahead? Yeah. Full steam ahead in the next episode, because we're going to leave it there, ladies and gents. Thank you very, very much for watching. My name, of course, has been Over the Potato. I'll see you next time. Bye.